All right, so I've been getting a lot of messages and a lot of comments and questions about what I've been using to catch fish, and I just decided to make a little video about it. Give you guys a little bit better information than just typing out stuff to you guys. So I'm gonna start off with probably the number one bait for stripers, the fluke. So Flukes, I only run them. I run them three different ways. You notice this one's already on a leader with a swivel, a simple barrel swivel, and a thick wire shank hook. And I have two of them rigged up like this. One with a short leader, one with a longer leader. And I have them that way because I can run a double fluke rig, or I can run them single with a swivel. And the reason why I run the single fluke with not my main line but with a leader line, I'll show you with my headphones. So with the swivel you have a little bit of weight, and what that does is it causes your line to slack a little bit. And when you're running a single fluke, if your line is always tight, if you're jerking your bait on top of the water, let's say the plug is your bait, when you're jerking your bait on top of the water all the time, it tightens your line and it keeps it tight. And sometimes when the fish grab it, you'll accidentally pull it out when it loads up on your rod, and you take the second, you wait for the second take. So when there's that little bit of slack, it gives the fish a split second to take in the bait even more, and it gives you a better and proper hook set. So that's why I run a leader like that. And third way that I run my flukes, it's usually if I find moving water or if I'm at a pump. And this one's rigged up to a 1/2 ounce jig head. You can run any jig head you want. You can rig 3/8, 1/4, but this one's rigged 1/2 ounce, which is pretty heavy, so that I can get to the bottom real quick and work it real fast. This is made for working really fast and covering a lot of water. And yeah, that's what I do with the fluke. And second, swim baits. So there's a lot of different kinds of swim baits, a lot of different companies, but I generally run, I use swim baits that are real slim, have a very sleek, profile to it, kind of like these. You guys can read the description in the box later to to get the names and the brands of these. So first I'll start off with I don't know the word for it, but they're like pre-made swim baits, with any kind with the weight already in it. This one's real sleek. I like it. It's not very heavy, and the reason why I like that is so that I can slow roll it, and so I can retrieve it very slowly, as slow as I want. It does sink when you retrieve it at a certain slow speed, but it's so that I can cover a lot of water at a certain speed. So that's why I have these in two colors, in silver side and pearl white, I believe. And then you have swim baits that need jig heads, and so I have this one rigged up to 1/4. And why 1/4? Well, I like having it kind of light. I don't really run my swim baits real heavy, and the heaviest one would be like this one, and it already reaches the bottom perfectly fine. And when it does reach the bottom, I'm fishing super, super slow, and so this one I'm fishing a little bit faster. It's a little bit heavier, and the weight, when you have a swim bait like this, the weight is more centered to the head of the bait, making it move differently. As in, for this bait, the weight may be all up in here, but then there's so much plastic in the back that it balances it out when you're retrieving your bait. And so I run them slow or fast. It all depends on you, depending on what depth you want them at and trying to find the fish. And then finally I have this one, and it's hooked up to these twist lock hooks, and so it's it's like a shank hook that has a little. It's a shank hook that has a weight and a little spring to it. I don't know if you guys see that, but yeah, you twist it on and then you rig it kind of Texas rigged. And this is, I don't know which one's heavier, but they're about the same weight, almost the same weight. But the way they fly when you throw them, the way they fly out there is totally different. You have a lot more air resistance with the single fluke, as in for the swim bait when it's rigged like this, it has less air resistance and it has more weight and a little bit more aerodynamic. There's not a lot of body to the swim bait. And the reason why I rig it like this is when there's no wind at all. You know, probably fishing at night, and the fish are pushing a lot of bait fish to the top, and maybe they're boiling or something. And I'm gonna cast this out as far as I can, and super slow roll it. My hand motion is literally like this, slow rolling. And I do not know the ratio of my setup, but it's a quantum smoke combo. But yeah, this one's set up for super slow rolling. And then a little bit faster, you know, covering a lot of water. And you know, besides all this, you know, I have this box of a bunch of jerk baits that I can use. You know, that's basically what I've been using. It's not really much to it. And to kind of sum it all up, you know, most of us on the ducks, we don't catch fish all the time. You know, there's days where we will skunk out. There's days where we'll catch dinks all day. You know, it's not all the time that we're catching keepers, but you know, it's good to have some of these in your box to use to find them. So, any questions? Leave it in the comments below. I'll try to answer them in another video. You know, the description of these baits are in the box below. So if you guys forgot them, just take a look below.